Have you ever gone to the grocery store and been completely confused in the olive oil section? You've got this bottle here and this bottle here, and you're like, what's the difference? And why is this one $3 more than this one? And I'm gonna talk to you today about a couple of key things to look for when you're shopping for olive oil, and then I'm gonna talk to you just real briefly about vinegar. And this is a precursor to some other videos that are coming down the line. I have a recipe for really good salads, and also I'm going to show you guys how to make your own salad dressing because it's super easy, and I have several that are staples in our house, and I want to share them with you so that you can make them too if you want. It's not hard to make, and it usually takes basic ingredients, oil and vinegar being two of the main ones. So let's get to it. To be officially certified extra virgin, it must be cold pressed. So that's why a lot of the times it doesn't say cold pressed, because it already says extra virgin. Apparently cold pressed is kind of an outdated descriptor for olive oils. So like on this one from Natural Grocers, it says extra virgin, it's organic extra virgin, it's already cold pressed. The other thing you want to look for in olive oils is that it's of single origin. Let's say you pick up this olive oil and I look on the back and it says product of Tunisia. And this is a single source olive oil, but sometimes you'll look at it and it'll say product of Portugal, Spain, and Greece. The thing with that is that they're combining batches of olive oil from different places, which in and of itself isn't a problem, except that you might have a 6-year-old olive oil from Spain and a 2-year olive oil from Tunisia, and then super fresh olive oil from Greece. Well, you mix them all together and then that product is not as stable. High heat will begin to compromise the integrity of the product. And let's say, okay, you go to Walmart and you see a plastic bottle of olive oil, which personally, I'm just gonna say right now, if something comes in a plastic bottle, I'm not buying it, because that already means that it's cheap. Like super cheap booze is always in plastic bottles too, right? Like you go to the liquor store and all of the stuff that's on the bottom shelf, it's always in plastic bottles, you know? So just think about that kind of stuff when you're looking for products to buy. So a lot of olive oils that you'll see on the shelf are cheap because they're not extra virgin and they're not cold pressed. And so they've been squeezed at a higher temperature, which makes the product not as stable. So back in the day when they would press for olive oil, they would do a first pressing, which was a first cold press, and then they would do a second pressing at a higher heat, and they would use that oil that was collected from the higher heat pressing for like their lamps, to burn in lamps and things like that. So it was not a good quality. So that's why you don't want to buy olive oil that's not extra virgin or first cold press, because they're using higher heats so they can get more oil out of the fruit, but in the process they're compromising their product. Okay, I want to talk to you really quickly about these other two oils that I always keep in my kitchen. I love avocado oil and also walnut oil. They both have really great health benefits, just like olive oil. They're high in antioxidants, they're anti-inflammatory. So for cooking, I prefer to use these over olive oil. Anyway, olive oil, you know, you're not supposed to fry in it and stuff because the good fat turns to bad fat, blah, blah, blah. It's a whole thing. But these are great for salad dressings too. I was just reading about walnut oil, and it kind of has just a slight nutty flavor, but they were saying like that it's really good for like dandruff and psoriasis and funguses and all kinds of stuff. I'm like, oh, I never knew that. And then they were also saying it's really good for your skin, which I've heard that about olive oil too, and avocado oil. They're all good fats. So if you're gonna choose like an olive oil to put in your salad or to cook with, I would recommend any of these. I also love sesame oil, both toasted and untoasted. Vinegar are the two main ingredients that I use in any salad dressing. Vinegar is an acid, but you can also use like lemon juice or lime juice, instead of vinegar if that's what you have. I always use apple cider vinegar in everything. I like it. I think it tastes good. But also balsamic vinegar is great. I think it has kind of a robust flavor, and it's great if, like, I might just add a splash of it into my dressing and not make the entire dressing with this. Rice vinegar is great, especially for Asian inspired dishes or sauces or dressings. White vinegar, there's champagne vinegar, there's red wine vinegar, white wine vinegar. I mean, the list goes on and on. So I hope some of that information was helpful for you. I'm not an expert in any of this by any means. I've just been cooking a long time, and I just want to encourage and empower people to be able to make good choices when they go to the store. I realize that not all of you can go out and buy a giant bottle of the best olive oil that's available. Make the best choice for you and for your budget, but the more you know, the better off you'll be when you go to the store. I want to encourage you to get crazy in the kitchen.